Rooted in resilience, inspired by nature, powered by movement. The podcasts where healing meets empowerment. Let's rise and thrive together. And now, here are your hosts, Scott and Melissa.
All right, we're podcasters.
Today
We
start.
This very moment, we're officially podcasting. So
Yes.
we're very excited about it. And it's been a long time coming.
We've been preparing to let this be birthed, and let's do it.
It's not been quite 9 months, but it's still a birthing nonetheless. So here we go. Rise and Thrive in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to episode 1, Rise and Thrive, a podcast by Vital Edge Wellness Coaching, which is a collaborative effort between Melissa Hedstrom and Optimal Living and myself, Scott Sadler, with Scott Sadler Coaching and Consulting. And we'd like to just kind of share with you how this came to be and how excited we are to be here. I don't know, it's been a couple of years ago now. Yeah. Melissa reached out and wanted to talk to me about business planning. And of course, I agreed to meet with her, and we'd known each other over the years, but we've never really knew each other. Mm-hmm. And in that process, of course, I asked her what her business model was and what she did, and she told me. And at that time, I was not following my fitness routine the way I'd like to, and asked her if she would actually help me as I helped her. And I've been a lot better for it too, by the way. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We're also discovered both mindful practitioners, very much rooted in our daily routines. And that led us to bigger conversations about how we're affecting change in the world and being our authentic selves in that change. And it kind of led us to the moment we are now. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you say?
I would. So, yeah, when I reached out, it was due to my business that I had developed. I've been teaching for, what did we figure out, 25 years. And started my business in 2012 and didn't plan on having a business, and it just evolved. And I got to the point through COVID and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Knowing that I wanted to take it to the next level. And I knew just being in my own little world and really not having a business background, I started to watch Scott's Instagram, as I was like, we had a lot of things in common. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to reach out. I'm going to be a little vulnerable here and say, here's my business. I'm ready to, expand. And it was not expand as far as like trying to grow. It was more expand because I've had and always felt a mission to try to touch as many lives as possible. And I found that I was actually staying small in that regards. And so I think when we got together and realized that, hey, we can support each other in the business, in our businesses. And Scott has a lot of experience in that area to help us take that message and that support that we know a lot of humans need, and bring it through this venue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, this is it's been quite a journey over the years. We were discussing our history in business and through COVID, and I had to chuckle because I use social media, but I'm not a massive, what am I trying to say? User isn't the right word. Consumer. I'm not a massive consumer of social media. I do a daily post every day. I keep track of a few things that are going on with family. But other than that, if it wasn't for the need to have it for business, I probably wouldn't be on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media at all. And yet we've talked about, and we'll probably do a whole episode around the importance of social media management and your screen time. But in this case, I was really grateful that my Instagram posts resonated with you because you're posting essentially the same things
right.
Every day. So that led us to where we are today. I think that, Rise and Thrive is part and parcel to Vital Edge Wellness Coaching, which essentially is a coaching and retreat company. And you can go to our website and see our retreat that we have scheduled. It's going to be fantastic. It's in Chianalani at a resort called Chianalani in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta. We'll talk more about that, but you can go and check out the details of that on our website. But we really want to focus on is helping people rise and thrive. There's a lot of fear in the world. There's a lot of change going on, and change is always going on, but it feels a little heavier today. It feels a little more weighty. And with the direction that people feel the energy is going, we want to offer some support. And some ways that we want to support that is through mindfulness. And we want to do a little mindful moment here, actually, because we're going to open every podcast with a mindful moment. And today, Melissa's going to lead our mindful moment. And we want to be able to get ourselves grounded and be fully present. And we want to help you incorporate a mindfulness practice in your everyday life. And then we'll talk a little bit more about some other tools that we'd like to help you understand. You already have in your toolbox. And we're just here to facilitate you understanding what they are to help you thrive, not just rise, but to thrive. So I'll turn it over to Melissa, and maybe you can lead us through what you have planned for us for mindfulness.
So at the beginning of each of our podcasts, we want to have just a moment. Often we're all running around and distracted and multitasking. And part of what I want to piggyback on what Scott said about what we're going to offer and be bringing forward is we realize through this through a podcast, we can bring a lot of our skills and tools that have helped us to navigate the world and to not just get through it, right? As he mentioned, the thrive aspect, but to actually turn inward to that inner state, that sacred place that we all have, that we often feel or have not tapped into yet, or it's very elusive for many of us. And we've been able to go there on our own individual journeys, and we want to come together and share it with you. So first things first, few moments, we're just going to pause to breathe. And it may feel weird. You might think about other things while you're doing it, but do your best just to be with us for this few moments. So wherever you're at, if you are driving a car, please do not close your eyes. If you're on a treadmill, or please use your discretion there. So eyes opened or closed. I want you to take a nice big sigh in through the nose and out through the mouth. And relax your jaw and your tongue. And whether your eyes are opened or closed, just going to tap into that sense of sight. So if the eyelids are closed, you still can see some light through those eyelids. The eyes a break, even if you have them open, just make a soft gaze. And I want to just do a simple count with you. The simple count is shifting the part of the brain that's being activated. It's going to get us a little more present, a little bit more bandwidth to be here with the topics at hand and to not be as distracted. So I'm going to ask you now to breathe in a moment. I'll do it with you. We're going to breathe into the count of 4, and we'll breathe out to the count of 6. I'll do the first one with you. So in through the nose if possible for 4. Exhale nose or mouth for 6. Continue 2 more times at your own pace. And completely no rush. When you finish that last count, just hang out for a moment with a regular breath. Just notice in a few moments there, a little shift in that inner state. And then let's complete this with a little sigh in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then you can let your eyes open when you are ready. So this is part of what we want to support and provide is that access. We're not necessarily going to be coming to you telling you anything new. It's going to be, one of my dear teachers said, it's the art and practice of remembering. So these are tools and skills that maybe they're new to you and maybe explored from our view and how we've applied them, which then helps you to turn inward. And I like to think about, I heard a little statement from the Tao, was like, all of these tools are pointing the finger. It's the tools that aren't making you, fixing you, or making it all better. These tools that we're going to expose you to in all these different areas of health are actually pointing you to that sacred space that's already there, that often has got covered up with the stress, with the chaos, with the outer world. And like I said, Scott and I decided that we felt was the best way to share our gifts and our support to all of you through this kind of means, because we can reach as many people as possible and build a community of healing and support. And so,
right, and practical tools. So while we are very mindfully focused, that is a foundational practice that allows you to use the practical tools we're going to share with you in a more meaningful way, which I think is where the power is, because we have different buckets that we focus on in our own businesses, but those buckets combined create a lot more capacity, right? And so that's why we want to start with mindfulness at every time we get our community together, and then we want to expand from there. So what are some of those areas that we're going to be focused on? Just high level,
high level areas. So the way I like to think about it is all of these different areas we often are seeking to find some balance in. And again, that leads us to that sacred space. So some of those areas being functional movement.
Right.
So functional movement being, our body's meant to move. And we know we live in a world.
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now, actually.
Yeah, we'll be standing sometimes in our podcast. We might be walking in the forest
That's
sometimes
true.
in our podcast. Functional movement, as Scott mentioned, the mindfulness practice, exploring meditation, and just being present, understanding what that is, and even the difference between mindfulness and meditation. Yoga as a mindfulness practice, a mind-body connection. And I look at, when I teach and support people through yoga, I look at yoga as not a physical workout. I'm not going to kick your ass in yoga. It's going
She will in functional movement.
I will in functional
movement. I'm just
movement.
Say it right now.
But with yoga, I look at that as the mental health piece, and helping you get to know that inner world, helping to know it's okay to get quiet, because a lot of us live in noise and find that more comforting at times. When we try to get quiet, it feels uncomfortable. Getting comfortable, feeling uncomfortable. And so yoga, and then also, this is a big one, so take a deep breath, nutrition. Now, when I say nutrition, I'm going to quote, all of my classes I've ever started is always with the quote from Hippocrates, is let thy food be thy medicine, let thy medicine be thy food. And I'm not here, Scott and I are not here to tell you what diet, measuring food, calculating calories. One of my passions and desires is to help us get out of the diet world and really tune in to your own personal body and what it needs to be nourished. And that's part of all of these tools coming together, is to wake up every day, put your feet on the ground, say it's going to be a great day, and ask your body, what can I do to care for you today? And is that going to include, your water intake, your movement, your exercise, your mindfulness time, your connection with each other, your connection with family. And then overall, with all of that, right? Did I leave anything out? The big umbrella is coaching.
Yeah.
You guys, we're all hearing more about health coaching, wellness coaching, business coaching, executive leadership coaching, all of that amazing stuff, because coaching is not telling you what to do. We can Google all of this stuff. We could pull up information about anything, but are we doing it? And we want to do it, right? All of these qualities with coaching. And that's what I think, with our skills together, we're going to be able to bring that support, because we're not coming on here to tell you what to do. We're actually helping you to connect with what's already in there and inspire you to take that next step, to put that action in place and empower you. That's coaching. It's not
consulting.
Yeah.
It's not, there's a little advising in there, I suppose, but coaching is a co-creative process. And so at the heart of these tools in this toolbox is the coaching practice. We don't bring the agenda. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics. And if any of you are interested in engaging in those agendas or those tools, then you create the agenda. I think you hit a lot of them. I think there's some more to talk about, which, kind of is exciting for us, which is nature connection. I do a lot of wilderness coaching and helping people reconnect in nature. I think that's really important. So our retreats will always have a massive nature component, and our podcast will always ask you to go get grounded and, go out and sit under the trees and get some sunshine and the benefits that our ancestors knew inherently would make them more healthy. And in today's world, you get into a car with your shoes on in the garage, you drive to work, you get out into the garage or the parking structure, and you go into work and you come out and you reverse that trend. We're really not getting our feet on the earth anymore. And there's real power that comes from that. And so we're going to talk a lot about the power of coaching of people in nature and the ways of nature. Leadership development, something very close to my heart. We're going to incorporate that for you leaders out there. This is for you. If you're not a leader, this is still for you. We're talking about self-leadership, self-development. We want to talk about what's your level of emotional intelligence. Are you working toward your strengths? We can help you discover what those strengths are and really align your life with those strengths instead of fighting against those strengths and maybe doing things that you're not in alignment with. And that leads then back, of course, to your exercise, your nutrition, your toxicity, in your environment, meaning there can be personal relationships, that can be your the chemicals in your home, that can be the area you live. We want to look at this as a holistic approach to well-being. And there's no area in holistic well-being that we don't want to talk about on this podcast. And we don't want to guide you through on this podcast. If there's anything else that's coming up for you out of this introductory podcast today that you're like, hey, what about this? Send us a note and let us know. We'd be happy to talk about it or address it, or maybe we're already doing it and we just haven't mentioned it. But
well, I want to piggyback a little bit too, again, with the sharing of honing in on your skills and honing in on your strengths, because that in turn guides you to how to do the things you want in the areas of nutrition, functional movement, getting out in nature every day, all of those aspects. Because many of us have experienced living in the shoulds.
Yeah.
And we all want to do these different health things, but we wake up and it's another year's gone by and we're like,
shooting all over myself.
Should be doing that. Mm-hmm. And what we decided, it's like, wait a minute, we've been doing this a long time, and realizing where we've been effective is helping people connect with those strengths and tap into where they can make change, micro little steps at a time that alter from their perspective, not from us telling you, this is how you make the change. It comes from the inside. That's what makes what we've seen and the lasting change in people when you're empowered to access this ability that's there. And so you get to start to have a new lens of all the different health stuff and things out there and what I should do. You start to like, oh, maybe this resonates with me. Maybe this not so much. You get to choose. So.
Yeah. And I want to be sure we mention that we're not going to be selling you a system. Mm-hmm. We're not here to we got this great product. We're coaches at heart, and we are taking these big blocks of ideas that are not our ideas, that we've just refined and we believe in, and we've seen the results from working with our own clients in, and we want to bring it all together in one place and create a tribe, create a community that can come alongside and support each other. And, I think that the authenticity piece is really important. We want to help people be their authentic selves and drop some of the facades that the ego puts up. when you're in a certain role, whether it be a personal or a business role. We want you to show up as your authentic self every day and find your most healthy, vital edge. Find your vital
Vulnerable
edge.
and open.
Yes,
Yeah.
be open and use your vulnerability. All these things.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have guests. We're going to bring in a lot of guests, experts in their field by their own rights, that can talk in specificity around some of these topics and more. We'll do a lot of solo things outside of this studio because we're going to drink our own Kool-Aid, and we're not going to do a lot of editing in these podcasts either. If these aren't as polished as they appear other podcasts to be, that's partly by design because we really don't care. We just want to
just want to talk to you.
We just want to talk to you. We want to be present for you. We want to fill our retreats and spend time with you in amazing locations around the United States and around the world.
Yeah.
And we want to practice at those retreats the things we talk about in the podcast: healthy eating, movement, volunteerism. What else?
Grounding,
right? Authenticity,
right.
Know thyself.
Getting out of our environments. So
right.
Famous quote out there that you can't solve the problems in the same environment that you were in. And so I want to add to about the retreats, part of us too coming together with this idea of joining our businesses and coming here with Vital Edge is being a retreat business. It isn't just to go like travel fun places and VA. We wanted to, we practice what we preach. And I'm here to say that I know during the COVID years, I really isolated. I'm completely virtual with my business, and I get to see my people through the computer. And so I do feel I'm introvert overall. So that was very comforting to me. But I know for health purposes, I do need community and I need people and bodies. And so part of us discussing the retreat is not just, like I said, to do those fancy places, but to find those places where we can immerse ourselves out of our current environments, expose ourselves to these tools and actually live them, practice them. And one of the other key pieces that we have talked about, because many of us know we've gone on retreats. Wonderful. And then we come home. And then by day 2, 3, 4, you're back in it. You're back in the routine, the patterns. So part of our passion by doing the podcast and other tools of support that we're going to put in place is that our hope and our vision is that we get to go on retreats, build this community, and in between, you're not alone. We're going to support one another to keep implementing, keep living our values and our strengths and move it forward. And of course, our hope is then you'll come with us on the next retreat.
That's right.
And we will continue to let those retreats grow and have various aspects to them that will expose you to the next level and the next piece that you're ready to implement. So,
and in between those, we're here for you. We have our individual coaching practices, and you can reach us through Vital Edge. And if you need to do an evaluation to find out where maybe you could improve, we're happy to talk to you, and help you figure out your own plan. But we want to support. It's super important that we offer you support between the retreats. And that will continue to evolve based on your feedback from these conversations, the conversations we'll have with our expert guests. And we're going to bring people in who are living this model right now and have succeeded, and they have some amazing stories about where they were and where they are and how much even one of these practices has transformed their lives. So I can tell you that I've been coaching for going on 25 years. I've been a business owner since 1989. So what is that, almost 30 years, 34 years, something like that. And we're bringing all of our experience to this. This is not a kind of slice of what we're doing. We're bringing everything in the kitchen sink into Vital Edge Wellness Coaching and Rise and Thrive podcast. And we feel really good. We feel like it's our time to be supportive in a community way. I too am an introvert. I meant to say that when Melissa mentioned that. I'm an introvert that can have extrovert tendencies, which means, and maybe some of you can relate to this, I can spend time with people and I like people, but then I need a lot of recovery time. I need a lot of quiet time, a lot of recovery time so I can go out and do it again. And that's something we have to be true to. And you extreme extroverts out there, I got several friends. You and I both have similar friends that are they got a lot of woo in the Gallup Strengths Finder. In the Gallup Strengths assessments, woo means they just want to be around people and inspire people and be out there all the time. My woo is like number 33 out of 34. I really honor those folks. We need those kinds of extroverts. But it's important that we help you be who you are authentically and show up authentically. So if you're not showing up how you think you could in your energy and in your comfort, we can help you get there.
Yeah, whether introvert or extrovert,
Yes,
or combination of both.
Yes, and it might be a combination of both. Yeah, absolutely. What else do we need to talk about today?
Well, I was just going to say, with the extrovert thing, I just had a thought. I thought, yeah, I could go out and both you and I can speak to a room full of 500 plus and have that energy to do that. But then there is that quiet moment that needs to happen. So that is part of our...
What happens if it doesn't happen?
Burnout. I should say that's where we should go. That's going to be a topic, definitely, is one of the main things kind of that came up out of us creating this was like, oh, we want to help people with burnout. I just gave a talk last week to medical providers because the desire to help prevent burnout. And so that's key to help us be able to tap into that and come back to balance. But I was also just sharing that part of our vision too, and joining together and all of our plethora of support is being able to take it to speaking events as well. So helping.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That'll be another phase. And, it's not just burnout, it's navigating challenging change.
Life
change. Yes. Life change we started out talking at the beginning of this podcast about the different world we're living in and the world that's going to be different tomorrow, based on the political environment in the world, based on nature and things that are changing all the time, and the economy and other things. There's a lot of
humans,
a lot of unsurety happening. And if we can help support you through these practices, well, we've been successful. And we get fed from this work. This is not a job or a career for us. This is who we are. And this is our life calling. And that's another thing that we discovered as I was querying her about her business and why she does her business. And I recognized she's kind of talking about the same thing that I say to my coach when she asks me, why are you even doing this work? And we would do this for free if it wasn't a world where we needed a paycheck. We love supporting people. My number one strength from Gallup Strengths Assessment is empathy. And what's yours?
My number one.
Yeah, come on. Empathy's still in our top 5.
Empathy's number 4.
Yeah, that's right. It's still in our top 5.
I gotta look at the first one.
But we are relationship based. I know 4 out of your 5 are relationship in the relationship domain, and 4 of mine are in relationship domain. And so we care deeply about people. We care deeply about seeing people succeed. And we are so excited to launch this. And stay tuned for episode number 2 coming out. We're going to have a weekly release, so you'll see this every week. We feel like consistency has to be there for people to really buy in. We want to live our own rules. And so we talked about monthly
that support.
That support.
Well, part of it is that consistency and support, right? So and that's why we often see our clients weekly or every other week, is because it's not to tell them what to do. It's that art of remembering, because we are all so consumed with multiple things and, our current patterns that we need that reminder as we start to. One of the aspects that I will bring in and we'll bring in together is that this is not just surface touchy-feely stuff. We're actually working on neurobiology. We're working on rewiring the brain patterns. And that takes consistency. It takes dedication and emotion and feeling. We know in order to change, you have to feel good, not feel bad. And most of us try to change by feeling bad. So we're here to help you feel good and to give you that direction and support, as well as ourselves.
And take you on amazing experiences, which also is a great jumpstart to.
And it isn't just fun, it's literally replenishing this body. This body needs the organs, the systems, all of that needs to have replenishment.
Yes.
Not just crash on the weekend, crash in the evenings, and try to make it through the week.
Any closing thoughts?
No, I'm excited. Looking forward to just seeing all of you every week. So we need your help. You got to follow us. You got to share and do all that stuff. See, we're not. I like Instagram for I post my quotes. You post your quotes. I follow, like you said, some family members. But ultimately, and it's not that. I mean, we want to practice what we preach, so we utilize it like that. So we need your help in doing what it.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Bring your friends.
Whatever the Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff needs to have to YouTube.
Yeah.
Are we on? Okay. I don't know.
Yes, we are. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a wrap on podcast number 1. Take good care of each other, and don't forget to take good care of yourself. And we'll see you next time on Rise and Thrive.
Namaste.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Rise and Thrive. If you're ready for a deeper reset, join us for our upcoming wellness retreat in Mexico, September 11th to 15th. It's the perfect opportunity to recharge through movement, mindfulness, and connection. Visit VitalEdgeWellnessCoaching.com to learn more. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little more rise and thrive in their life. Follow us on your favorite platform to stay inspired. And until next time, keep rising and keep thriving.